My name is Ariola, and I come from a Muslim background. The way God opened my heart was through my brother's testimony. In the beginning, it was him who was really a very strong Muslim, but then he wanted to find more answers, and through some Christian friends who would share the gospel with him, he started having his own questions and coming home, reading the Bible, reading Quran, trying to compare and find many answers. And then one day he tells my parents that I realized that I believed a lie, and from this day on I'm a Christian. From that day, there were really strong debates in our home. My parents were furious with him. My uncles would threaten him, putting hands in his throat, threatening my brother to kill him, and threatening to put my brother's pastor in prison because he was below 18 years old and they didn't want him to accept my brother at church. So all this situation made me have questions like, why is he standing so firm? It must be something really serious that he's not giving up. So during this time, my brother was all the time trying to hide his Bibles because my parents, whenever they would find a Bible, they would throw it, burn it, or just rip it. So I started hiding my brother's Bibles under my bed, my mattress. And because I was already having these questions, I wanted to know what is so strong that he is believing. So I started reading the Bible. I was maybe 10 years old at that time, and I didn't realize much. I didn't understand much from the Bible, but I really started having, fearing hell. Like, I didn't know what I had to do to be good with God, but I knew I didn't want to end up in hell. So I started praying, and little by little, God would teach me through His Word. And then in 2002, a couple of years had passed. I was 15 by the time. The church of my brother organized a youth camp. It was a 1-week camp away from my hometown. And I was begging my parents, please let me go. I promise I won't become a believer. Just let me go and have some fun there. And right in the last minute, my parents would let me go. And then it was during that week that God touched my heart and opened my eyes to understand the gospel. And it really touched my heart, the fact that I could have a personal relationship with God and that Jesus died on the cross for my sins. So after that week, when I came back, it was my turn to have my fight with my parents. So for 4 years after that, they wouldn't allow me to go to church. They would throw the Bibles, burn them, throw them all the time. And I needed to be creative to read my Bible. So I had to hide my Bibles under my shirt and go in the restroom and read the Bible. And for 4 years, my prayer was, please, Lord, watch my steps. I don't want to take decisions that would lead me away from you. So I would pray continuously and ask God to keep me strong and go on in faith. And then after 4 years, my parents realized that they couldn't do anything to stop me going to church. And then they stopped asking, did you go to church or something? They realized that I became a Christian in that camp, and they still regret it for letting me go there, but they realized that this was something stronger than their permission to let me go or not.
I'm Yuli from Albania. I come from Muslim background. In 2005, it is crew. It is come around of Albania to show Jesus movie in a deep village. That time I finished high school, and these guys come in my house, and it is asking me to share Jesus movie in my yard. And okay, I ask my dad, and dad tell, let's come to show the movie here. And at that time I have many questions in my mind, and I ask God, who I am, what you do in my life, or what can I do? And I not have a question. And at that time I applied for college, and the guy invited me to go in Shkodra to apply there. And the guy tell, you need to believe in Jesus Christ. And I tell, I believe in God, and I'm good man, and God accept me, and it is letting me to go in heaven. And because I am good man, I am not kill people, and I am not maybe a little bit to lie, but it's not big deal for God. God letting me to go in heaven. And it is for 3 months, maybe 4, I go in the Bible to read the description, and the guy tell me, you are not good enough to go in heaven. And I realized that time I need Jesus, and where I find in a scripture Jesus come to die for me and to keep my sin. And I tell, okay, now for me it is to keep that gift, and it is free. For me it's not to do something to go in heaven, because Jesus do everything. And I tell now, for 4 years in a college I have the best year to serve, to help in crew, and I know everyone else there, and God have this God plan, and we married in 2010, and we moved in Tirana.
Yeah. After we moved in the capital where we live now, we were newlyweds, and we joined a small church. We wanted to help whatever we could. We didn't want to be just visitors and getting lost in the crowd. So we found a small church, and we were all the time talking with our pastor and telling him, this is the best time of our lives. What can we do? What can we help? How can we serve? Because we don't have kids, our jobs were part-time at the time.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to serve. And God would use us in different projects, different outreaches around the city. And then during that time, our prayer, and we even put it in our fridge, was, please God, make us instruments in your hands to give you glory. It was in 2014 when Yuli had started a new job. And after 2 months, someone detonated a bomb next to the offices because they wanted to kill his boss. And he lost both legs there.
Yeah, it's before the accident happened, I need to share this. We are in Bible study in our church, and we discuss it. It is a song here in Albania. Some churches change. It is God give and bless, and we see in Job 1:21, Job say, God give and take away, and blessed be the name of God. And the day next, the accident happened. And this is so strong in me, and it is so encouraging for my wife, because that time the accident and the bomb destroyed my body. I cry before God. God, let me live a little time to see my wife again and my son, because my son, it is 3 months old that time. And later it is a guy come pick up and put in a car and go fast she came in a hospital, and that time I remember I not have voice in me. I tried to sing Psalm 23 in a Bible, and it is a voice in me tell, hold on, I am with you. You are not alone. And we go there, and the doctor say, okay, we are here. Don't worry. And it is putting me in a long surgery, maybe 6 hours or 7 hours. And later, when I wake up, I heard from doctor talk each other. We do what we do for God save your life today. And this is, I thought, okay, maybe now I live, and God maybe take care for my legs, and maybe I walk again. And later it is 1 month and a half in a hospital. It is nightmare for me. I have a lot of pain. And later when I was going home, it is another battle for me, because I not have legs. The son, it is young, and Ariolas need help. And at that time I cry before God, God, why are you allowed to this? This is too much for me. And what is the reason? And every day I cry, God, why you let me here in earth? Why you don't keep it me? And why let me alive? And day by day I see many people pray that time, and God opened an opportunity to go in US to have a prosthetic leg there, and God provided in an amazing way. That time is.
So, as I said earlier, we were serving at church, and we were being involved with ministry, and then this happens. In the beginning, the whys were a lot like, why did you, God, allow this to happen? Why didn't you protect him? Why was this needed? We were serving you.
Yeah.
And as much as there were all these whys, at the same time, God's truths in his Bible and his promises were covering all these whys. And even today, I don't know exactly why God allowed this to happen to Yuli, but I know that God is still using our story to make his name and his faithfulness known, to encourage other people and to bring them closer to God. So my encouragement for everybody who listens our testimony would be to go to the Word of God, know it, believe it, submit to God's plan and to his will, and believe him with all your heart, and live every day his word.
I remember when we had dinner at your house and you explained your story, and what impacted me was when you had your legs blown off and the whole time you were still conscious. Just explain that again.
Yeah, this is, I think, because people surprise with me. I know all of the details was happened after the bomb destroyed my leg, and I call for help, and people not come, and I keep it this belt and going in a knee, because a lot of blood go there, and you can see now is not the knee there more, and I keep it with my hand and belt, and I tell God, let me because I see my blood going around, and I tell God, let me just a moment to see again my wife and my son. And this is, maybe it is helpful to go live in a hospital, and the God saved my life.
Why didn't anyone come to help you? at first?
Because people afraid, because another attacker come to have another bomb to explode there, and it is come another guy because people, it is so the destroy, it is so, people heard that what's happened there, and one guy is come and put it me in a car and go faster as you can in a hospital. And we go there, and the driver, I not to meet the driver, because it is have problem with police, because need to report why you keep these people in hospital.
Because the ambulance didn't arrive,
Yeah.
so there were random people who would carry him.
Yeah.
And he remembers the
Yeah.
person who carried him was crying.
Yeah, it is crying with me, and the guy said, "Oh, what's happened to you?" And it is, now I remember the face, and I see the tears, and we cry both the time. And I tell, when I meet later, I hugged the guy, and I tell, maybe God tell it to you to come to help me that day. And yeah,
How did you get to meet him later?
in a mall where it is so.
It was him who recognized Yuli, and
Yeah.
we were in the mall walking, and he stopped us.
Yeah.
And he said, "Do you recognize who I am?" And we
Yeah.
said, "No." And then he said, "I carried you when you lost your legs and put you in a random car, just stopped." And we were both crying and
Yeah.
hugging that person because we've been looking for him to
Yeah.
thank him, but we couldn't find him. So it was a gift to meet him.
Mm.
Can you now show us your children? Can you get your children to come and be with you?
Yes.
Yeah, now it's our children is growing up. At the time we are not have the daughter because it's not coming yet. For now we have Joel and Yora. It is enjoying us now. This is Joel.
Hi. And this is Yora.
Wow.
After what happened, we weren't sure if we could have children again. So she was such a blessing, and the meaning of her name means
The first.
the smell of the earth after the first rain of autumn. So she is like a fresh breeze.
And
In our family.
And tell the for Joel.
So,
Emre praat.
yeah, and Joel is from the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such beautiful family, and
Thank you.
God bless you as a family. God bless your marriage. God bless your children. God bless your ministry.
Thank you.
Thank you.
People, but even in our family, I was sharing with my son how he's not little to believe in God, and he is blessed to be in a family where his parents are believers, and that I was sharing with my son how his dad was young, and one day he wakes up going to church. He might have not lived, and life is unexpected, you never know. And then going through this, like we weren't deep in theology or knowing a lot or I don't know what, but just submitting to God and believing that He was sovereign, and the way He has kept us through it all, it's been amazing. And I think I said it before, just looking how God, like the growth that we have had, like it was like God was holding our hands all the way, and it just makes my heart say, with all my heart, saying it's all worth it. What happened, it's all worth it. Just for all the ways God has led us and how He taught us through this, and how He has encouraged other people through this.
And we see the life is so short in this earth. One day I believe maybe Jesus come early, or maybe we can go there. And I tell people, we need to live for God, not for ourselves. And for me, this has happened now. I know more better God, and to worship with my heart. And this is a matter where you connect close to God, and to know more clear.
And one of the things that people have expressed more that were encouraged by our story has been just to reconsider their commitment to God, because most people might take it easily, their relationship to God, thinking, oh, I'm young, I have all my life ahead, or just, not living every day for God, and compromising in little things that they don't consider important or such big things, but just knowing that life is so unexpected and you never know how many days you have on this earth, and taking it in consideration your commitment to God as the most important thing in your life. So this has been the feedback from many people that have seen our story.
And this is not our story. It is God's story, and we let it God to use it us. And later we don't know that prayer. I think both of us, we do that prayer. We are not know what's asking God to do in us.
Yeah,
and
the prayer to be for our marriage to be an instrument in God's hands to give glory to Him. So God fulfilled that prayer, but not with the way we had in our minds, but according to God's plan and God's will for our lives. He fulfilled it completely in a different way than what we thought He would fulfill it.
Can you tell me a little bit about your ministry now?
This happened to me. Now I have a ministry with disabled people. We start in ministry in 2019. I go around because I share my testimony in a TV show here in Albania, a national, and some people know me, and and I tell God, maybe these people need help and need Jesus, because all of us have we not have legs, or some. For these guys need Jesus in heart because it's broken, the relation with the life. And I go around and I find some guys, and we have a nation team here in Albania, amputated soccer team. And this year it is a second camp now we do with you guys, with Omokara Church helping. And it's hard because every people have the life is not good, and not have work, and
many of these people that Yuli is meeting every week are jobless, their families are destroyed, their hopes are destroyed. They got divorced, most of them, after losing one limb, and being able to, Yuli meets with them every week, and not only playing soccer, but sharing the gospel with them, sharing his testimony. It's a great opportunity to share the source of our joy and why our family has joy, even Yuli lost his legs, and share God in this.
It's hard because the guys not understanding, because they all look at what's happened to me, and it is every time is angry with the government here or with people, and I tell, we need Jesus in heart, and we need to fix the relationship with God, not with people, because the people is a sinner, and it is happened. Now we are not fixing. What's done is done, and need a lot of work and energy to do prayer, lots of prayer, and we don't know what God choose to.
Yes. The seed is planted, but it's in God's hand to grow and open their eyes.